a blue button. Here you go, and press got it. And that means we've started the live. So welcome everybody to our first day of our 4-day implementation sprint. And what we do here at LinkedIn for Breakfast is we're on a mission to make this the best place that people can come for free to learn about how to harness the power of this wonderful professional network they call LinkedIn. And that's exactly what we're trying to do over these 4 days. And it's not just giving you some information. It's about asking you to take action, giving you support in between these sessions to be able to polish those actions if you participate full out. And I'll show you how to do that. And hopefully by the end of it, actually receive results back from doing this challenge. Yes. So what does that actually look like? Let me just sort of show you the agenda and share screens. So this is our 4-day challenge or implementation sprint. Day one today is this. The first thing we want to do is think about, well, actually, what is it and how can it be done? 2, I want to give you a demo of the end-to-end system we're going to be building over the next 4 days. And finally, we want to then look at which target audience we're going to target for this week, this 4-day challenge, okay? And we're going to have some actions that we're going to be doing in terms of editing your header and writing the actual outreach message today, which I'm going to show you how I can personally give you help and support to polish that when you submit it in between now and tomorrow morning. Cool. The whole point of this is to get it done within what we call the $1 million hour. So these sessions are actually going to be only half an hour or so. I'm going to get through the content and then you can duck off this call and go and actually implement. I'll still stick around to answer any further questions, but I'm looking to try and just give you the content and the actions within half an hour, leaving you half an hour to do the thing, and then you can get on with your day. So that's the kind of promise that we're making for today. And look, it can be done. This is just 2 examples of people saying yes to the type of outreach messages that we're going to be building. And this is me getting appointments in the diary. Let me just kind of build a bit more on this. This is the last few deals that we've done, and about 50% of them come from LinkedIn as a primary source using the type of tactics I'm going to show you today. And here's people who were on the challenge last time we ran it, getting results from this exact challenge. I haven't changed anything for this challenge, so there's no reason why you can't also be posting results like this. For example, Don Daniels getting 4 positive responses. Jan getting people in. Now he's saying 6 positive responses that he's getting and getting calls booked in. Karen at the top, 4 calls scheduled in the diary over the next 3 weeks and still counting. And then Jay, they're also getting calls scheduled. So this is actually appointment setting, sales focused work, gang. So it's going to be exciting to see you guys get similar results. So what is the system? So here's the end-to-end system of what we're actually going to build this, gang. We're building this today, not today, but over 4 days, right? And so this, by the end of it, is what I want you to be able to come out of. The first thing we're going to be thinking about doing is this piece at the top, which is essentially priming your LinkedIn profile for lead generation. No longer do we want it to be a glorified CV. We actually want it to be something that's going to help and assist you in actually getting people to say yes to booking onto a call with you. The second thing we're going to help you to do is write the LinkedIn message that we're going to send out to people and actually get into your current network and send this message out. And the reason why we're going to focus on your current network yet so far is because many of us have been accumulating connections over time, but we haven't really done enough with them. We haven't actually got our teeth into them. And so we're going to start there, the low-hanging fruit, and we're going to go and harvest those today and tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, we're going to write the messaging today. Tomorrow, we're going to go actually out and actually get into them. Okay.
Hello.
Is he frozen forever? Just booked me, etc. Many of us have those type of booking links, but have we optimized them properly? And do we have a whole follow-up structure to make sure that you're getting the most amount of show-ups to your sales calls? So we're going to help you with all of that over the course of the next 4 days. Cool. So Where does it all start? Well, the first things first is that there's no point us going upon this mission without actually understanding who are we trying to target. And so step one is about knowing your audience. Super, super important. And it's a big kind of phrase of actually saying, look, niche your marketing, niche your lead generation, not your business. What do I mean by that? You are more than welcome to go and take on any type of audience or any type of client you want. It is your business after all. But when we are going after a full-on marketing campaign where we're trying to get specific types of people to actually say yes and buy from you, then really, really think about who you want to try and target and actually what is it that we're trying to sell them, and just go after that one thing. You know, if you try and catch two rabbits, you get none. Over the next 4 to 5 days, let's just catch one rabbit, and then that will give us tangible results. Don't worry about people going, or don't worry about you going, oh, well, actually, I'll work on these two types of businesses, or actually, I could work with these people. Let's pick one just for this week. You can always unpeel everything that we do. It's easy to change this stuff, but let's actually see what does this whole niching thing do for your business? Because actually, that's the quickest way to get true return on investment from your lead generation activity. Cool. So this is the kind of lean in bit. This is the bit that feels scary sometimes. People talk about niche clusterphobia and being, you know, don't want to be pigeonholed. Where I always say, think of yourself like a cannonball. You have to put yourself in something very small and dark in able to be launched as far and as fast as possible, right? So that's what a niche does, right? So don't worry about the claustrophobia. So here's an example of a search, and the reason why this is important because we want to be able to do the search, right? So we want to think about, from my perspective, say I'm going to go and target coaches, right, in the UK. And what type of coach do I want to target? Well, someone that is actually good at doing events, because the type of stuff that I do within my core business, Million Dollar Sprint, is we help people to do a regular event cycle. So having people that are speakers would be really useful, right? So I have a search phrase, which is coach plus UK plus speaker. And then that gives me the opportunity. So when you're thinking about your search criteria, you could think along those lines and actually start to put together these criterias or use things like the drop downs to be able to do the search. So let me just go onto LinkedIn itself and start to bring this to action. Let me just get rid of that. Oh, there we go. LinkedIn's just loading up. And it's this search bar at the top. So I have Sales Navigator and I could do some really cool searches on it, but I'm not going to do that because the whole point of this is to be able to do some nice searches on the free version to show you guys exactly how this works, right? So if you just wanted to type in coach and plus speaker, this would be the search that I would do. And if I wanted to then target UK, I could put UK in there. Or actually, what I'd probably recommend you do is go click on see all people results here, which would then give me all the people results in here. And then I would go and use locations. And then I'd click on United Kingdom like that, right? You could do plus UK, but actually, it's probably the easiest way to demonstrate it. And you see there's 18,000 people in here. And then the quick, acid test to go, well, actually, are these people good, right? And you can see, look, coach, speaker, the conference speaker coach, motivational speaker coach, author coach, and speaker, right? This is showing me the type of results that I want to go for. Perfect. We've now found it. Now, many of you will be thinking, well, actually, I don't have specific job titles that I want to go to. So, for example, there's not a job title for people who want to lose weight if you're a health coach, right? So in that instance, what we want to do is, instead of doing it as a classic search like this, we want to find groups. The whole point of this is to find your audience, right? So if you want to find groups, you could be thinking, well, actually, what type of people are interested or thinking about losing weight? And then you want to go where they already are, right? So we could go and actually find, say keto is a type of group or type of people that try and do the ketogenic diet, right? So that's the type of people that gathered together for this. So if I type in keto like this, And then instead of going United Kingdom, I can just go to groups like this. It will then show me, here's all the groups of people that are interested in ketogenic diets. And there's loads of them, right? And I'm sure there's loads for, I don't know, the Atkins diet or high carb or high protein diets or whatever it is. You could find it this way. I've got a client who works with people who have got MS, multiple sclerosis, right? And so actually, we just type in multiple sclerosis, sclerosis, sorry, pronunciation wrong, and then go to groups. And again, we're now finding huge volumes of people or groups. So 1,000 people in there, 900 people in there. I think when we found one, there was one with 7,000 odd people in there. It's not on the first page, it will sure be on the second page, but there's massive amounts. So when you start to really think, well, actually, how can I find my people? Either through groups where they're clustering together or through that classic search, which is coach that I was doing plus speaker. I was using was something speaker. Now, why is this important? Is and I'll just go back to my search criteria to get it out, get it ready. So you can see you always have to go see people results in this. And then once you've done it, then go to locations and work your locations. Perfect. Great. So now we're finding the audience that we want to go for. This is where we want to work this outreach activity. There's 18,000 people in here and they're not connected with us. So the next part is that we want to actually think about who the low hanging fruit is. And when we say low hanging fruit, this is who we want to get into. So we want to see people who we are currently connected with, our first degree connections. Now, when you do this, gang, this should actually bring about an interesting exercise for all of us. Are we actually connected on LinkedIn to the target audience that we feel is the right target audience for us to go for? So, for example, if I did this and I only had 100 people that I was connected with instead of 1,100 people, then that would tell me something about my activity on LinkedIn. I'm not connected with my right type of audience. I'm not actually in their feed. You don't see stuff from other people unless a post of yours has gone viral. You won't see anything from people you're not connected with. It's normally only a small percentage of second or third degree connections that will ever see your post unless your post just goes absolutely bonkers, right? And so if you're not connected with your audience, don't expect your audience to want to work with you, right? So this is the first kind of aha moment you should be doing, because you should find the right search, which is important. Now you find the right people. Then secondly, how many of them I'm actually connected with? Great. Now I've got 1,100 leads that I can actually now get my teeth into and start messaging, which is exciting, right? So once you've done that, and I want you guys to be able to do that search criteria and work it through. So that's one of the tasks for today, to actually work out what is your search you're going to target. The next thing is we want to write our headline for that audience. Okay. So why is that important? Well, when you're doing a messaging campaign or a connection campaign, when you're trying to connect with them or message them, your feed will look like this. This is your kind of requests, connection requests that you get. And you can see their name, you can see what their position is, and then you can actually see maybe part of a message that they're putting out to you. Some people don't even send a message. And if you're on the basic version, you can only send a limited amount of messages per month. So much of the time, you're going to be connecting with people without even any message. So this is why it's so important. So of these three, which one stands out the most? And I think hopefully you would all agree that Pete here stands out the most, because although Alexandra is a full stack developer and Sarah here is a senior project manager at the AV group, that doesn't mean anything to me. Whereas Pete is helping creators to effectively market their audio content to their email list. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm a creator. I've got an email list. I do content. This seems something that's quite interesting. And you can see the message here is that he's saying, hi, I see we both work in the podcast world. I thought, whatever it is, right? So actually, there's not much there in terms of the message I'm seeing, but the point being is that first part of his headline really hit it. Who am I and how can he help? Super important. It also shows up here when people are messaging you, it comes up as the only thing. Remember, someone's face, someone's name, and actually someone's headline. Headline super important, right? Transforming the way sales leaders retain and grow key customers, helping deliver experience B2B buyers want. Women's Sales Pro, right? So it's telling me exactly the type of person that she is and how she can help, right? And that will really help to introduce whether or not I'm actually interested in what she's saying. So there's a formula for this, okay? And the formula is, and just take a note of this, it's three parts. The first part is who you help. The second part is how you help. And the third part is why they should listen, right? So super important. Who you help, how you help, why they should listen. So you can see there, helping coaches, consultants, course creators sprint to $1 million in revenue, right? And actually, since doing that slide, I've just actually streamlined mine even more. Helping entrepreneurs sprint to $1 million in revenue, right? So this is the interesting thing. If I'm going out for just coaches now, I probably would actually tweak this headline and remove the word entrepreneur and put coaches, because that's who I'm going out to specifically at the moment, because we're doing quite a wide outreach message, because obviously all the quick win tactics I'm going to show you today I've long used up. So we're doing a broader broadcast at the moment. But when you're doing a real kind of nailing of your first degree connections that you probably haven't done properly, then really go into it. But regardless, this is still the right model. So I've got helping entrepreneurs sprint to $1 million revenue, and then 3 times best-selling author and BBC Apprentice finalist, right? So that's the credibility part. So let me just break that down for you again. Who and how I help, helping coaches, consultants, course creators. That's who. How I help, sprint to $1 million in revenue. Why they should listen, award-winning entrepreneur, author, and BBC Apprentice finalist, right? So that's the credibility items. Those bits need to relate to the target you're going out to. Let me show you another one that's Jeremy here. He's $1 million sprinter. He's going specifically out to corporate. And so he is doing who he helps, partnering with organizations to create a culture of performance and well-being so they can focus on impacting the world, impacting the world, right? So who is the organizations, and how is creating a culture of performance? And I love his kind of big picture, which is so they can focus on impacting the world. I really like that. And then the last piece is his credibility, the why they should listen. And that's their former top 250 UK IT leader, right? So who you help, how you help, why they should listen. I'm going to ask you guys to post that in our community at the end, and I'm going to actually give you guys some guidance on anybody that does it. So please take action now and edit your headline to know who and how you help and why you should listen, and post that into the community. I'm going to show you how at the end of these slides, and I will give you some further help with it. Cool. Okay, so step 3 today. We need to write the outreach message using our template. So this is the bit where you just got to trust that this will work really nicely, because we're going to be doing a bit of a straight to the point campaign to your first degree connections, right? And so this is the campaign that we're talking about, and this is the messaging, right? So, and I just want to show you, look, that works. And you can see here, someone's coming back and saying, happy to have a chat, right? So in terms of the idea. So it starts off, and let me just break this down into sections. And actually, I'm going to put this into the chat now. So I'm going to put the text into the chat. Obviously, we'll circulate this round to all of you guys afterwards. But if you wanted to just copy and paste this into the chat now, there you go. So copy and paste it into the chat. You can copy and paste that into a document if you want to do this on the fly. And we will obviously get this circulated around to you after this call. So 4 sections to why this works, right? The first bit is, let's be upfront, right? So hi, first name. I don't want to take up your time, so let's get straight to the point. The reason why this is important is because we're not going out cold to these people. They have been first degrees connections of yours. We are going to be going for those low-hanging fruit with this message. And the whole point of this message is to be able to help you to actually get into that credibility that you've already probably built up. Most of you have been friend zoning your audience for too long. They've been putting out nice posts. They've been kind of looking at stuff. You've been getting some views on things, but you're not sure who. And so that content creation or that activity or those comments or whatever you've been doing, that's where your audience is warmed up to you. Or maybe they've seen you on other social networks and they happen to connect with you on LinkedIn. But this is a really nice way to get your teeth into it. So don't be worried about who this is going out to. Let's just write this out to start off with. So the first bit, let's get up front. Let's get straight to the point. And then the second piece is then who and the pain they have, right? So we're looking to partner with expert entrepreneurs, that's who are awesome at what they do, but need more clients, right? So that's who they are and the pain they have, right? And then how we solve the pain, we run a lead generation and sales accelerator designed specifically for experts, and we think you would be a great fit, right? So we run something specifically for your type of niche, and we think you'd be a great fit. Call to action. I'd love to schedule a call next week so I can show you more, right? That's the call to action. Now, I know that we all get messages in our inboxes like this, but actually the whole point of this is you're sending this with the credibility of being the first in a connection with them already, and you're doing it in a way that is tailored and specific for them, which is going to be different to the normal kind of spammy stuff that is this kind of chuck it everywhere, right? This is a bit more tailored to them. It's niche specific, and it's coming from you as a first degree connection. So just understand that this does work. This does work. And so you sometimes have to just throw yourself into these things and you will get back the results from it, right? So let's be upfront. Who and the pain that they have, how we solve the pain, and the call to action. Take action now. So the action is we just want you to write it, okay? And so in the last 5 minutes, I just want to recap those actions because they're the 3 actions for today. Know your search, right? So it's know your search, write your headline, and write your outreach message. That's the game plan. And we're going to be sharing where you can actually update those, share both of those outreach, the headline and the outreach message in the community. And then tomorrow, we're actually going to start the outreach. I'm going to show you how we're actually going to do that. So this is the post that I want you to put these 2 things underneath in the community. And so let me just show you this. This is our LinkedIn for Breakfast School community. I'm going to chuck the link in the chat there for you now. Oh, Flora's already done it. Well done, Flora. Thank you. And so in this community, if you are not in this already, do join us. It's a free community. And this is where we help. And at the top here, I've pinned this day 1 actions post. And so I'd like you to click on it here. And we're talking about share your buyer and outreach message in this here. And this is the nail the audience search with your target for this challenge, edit your header, and write the outreach message using our template. And actually, just to help, in case you can't find it, I will chuck in this is the cool. So that's in there now. So again, if you miss it, you can actually just go onto the thing and go grab it there. So that's the game plan. So we just want you to update those headers and we want you to do the outreach message. So I'm going to take some questions now. If you are shooting off to go and do all of that stuff, then fantastic, great energy. And I'll see you at 9 o'clock today. Remember, 9 o'clock for the next 4 days, Monday to Thursday today. And we're going to go through this as a little community together. So it'd be great to see you. So any questions, please do either stick the old digital reactions button up like that, or just wave at me. But there's a couple of pages of you guys, so I might not be able to see if you're waving. So if you've got any questions, please go for it. Debbie, go for it.
Hi, thank you so much for this morning. I just wondered, a lot of what you said seems to be aimed at people who are aiming at B2B business, whereas I actually have a retail store. And what I'm trying to do is reach more potential customers and also tell them about what we do through LinkedIn. We have a really big YouTube channel with lots of informative things. How would I find the right? So I've tried various different searches, and I found it very difficult to find the right audience. Do you have any
Okay.
suggestions?
So is it a retail is it mainly people would come into
Yes.
the location? Okay.
So,
So LinkedIn's a bit difficult when you're thinking about an actual shop, a retail outlet, uh,
mhm.
because it is a professional network of trying to get people along to it. And, most of the time I'd be thinking from your perspective, more things like Facebook groups, local Facebook groups.
Yeah, we
uh,
have those.
yeah, so that would be one of the main places. There is the ability to search via the town and actually connect with the people in the town. But I believe is it a baby shop? I seem to remember from We
Yes.
Connected. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's trying to find people who are interested in baby stuff. That's quite difficult because you could do a location specific search. You could get into you could see everybody in that location, and then you're trying to make an assessment of are they interested in um, stuff for babies, and that would not it's not where I would tend to go. I would be thinking about where's my time and my energy and my budget, and I'd be spending most of that on Facebook ads, Instagram ads, local Facebook groups. I would be looking a lot on SEO. I'm sure you're doing all these things. I'm getting lots of my reviews going on my Google Local. That I'd be smashing through all of that. I don't think, as much as I love LinkedIn, I don't think LinkedIn would be the place I'd be spending the majority of my time on it.
Okay. Thank you very much. I found it very useful this morning about rewriting the profile. So thank you for that.
That's cool. I mean, how the other campaign I'd be thinking about is that what partners could you have that have your audience? So that's where I would be flipping it and going, how can I make a B2B campaign work for this? And so are there locations that are local to you that you could partner with? Are there maternity based consultancies or they've got many kind of services around new babies or pregnant ladies that you could reach out to. And that's where, so when you want to think about how can I make this a B2B campaign? And so that's what I'd be thinking about your partnership opportunities. There's many good retail campaigns that will do all of their stuff on Facebook, Instagram, the meta stuff for their consumers, but then build massive partnerships on LinkedIn because it's a B2B platform. And so that's the nice transition between the two. In fact, it's
Okay.
quite nice to be able to go, actually, I'm only looking for partners on LinkedIn and I'm only looking for clients on Meta.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
No worries, Debbie. Good to see you. Sarah, over to you.
Hi, Richard. Just a logistics question. I've got client calls Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 o'clock, which means I can't be on here. Are these recorded? Can I get access to them?
Yes, they're recorded and we'll be posting those into the LinkedIn for Breakfast school community. So you'll be able to get access to them each day. So the game plan is to get them up probably about 20 minutes after we finish these calls each day. And then you should be there. And then you'll see also each day there'll be a new tag to the top of the post with day 2's actions, day 3's actions and stuff. So you'll have the recording and you'll also have the action posts.
That's brilliant. And just one other question. I'm not afraid of niching whatsoever. I've been on Daniel Priestley's course, and I'm all over that. But there are two things that I do, and I will always continue to do two things. So it's quite a challenge to write the headline. I'll put my current headline into the group and get your thoughts on it. But it's quite hard if you do, if you do two things and they're not totally separated. But I'm going to struggle to write, and always have struggled to write, that I just do this for just these people at just this time. That isn't going to work. So I'll be interested to get
what are the two things?
So I'm an imposter syndrome specialist, but the audience stays the same. But I'm also an executive leadership coach, but I tend to do the imposter syndrome stuff with executive leaders. So it's combining the two, but not leaving out the fact that I'm also massively into emotional intelligence and professional development. So it's It's the imposter syndrome piece is part of what I do, but it's not all of what I do.
But who is it the same target audience?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's okay. Like you could be saying I help execs, senior execs or senior leaders to be able to deal with things such as imposter syndrome, emotional intelligence. Boom.
Okay.
And
I
that
think I've captured it. I mean, I've redone my headline about 5 million times. So I'll be interested to see what you think. But we're popping those into that
Yeah.
group, yeah.
So yeah, chuck it underneath in the comment sections of the day one action post, put it
Okay.
underneath there, and then I will go through it and give you some pointers. And other people also can do.
Brilliant.
It's kind of a bit of a
Thank you.
mastermind of crowdsourcing.
All right.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
Good to see you. Gail and David, it must be cold in South Africa because I know you both are coming in. Look at you guys in your hats and scarves and stuff. I know. I was like, why do they look so cold? And then I was like, you're both in South Africa, aren't you? So there you go. Wow. What is it like? 12 degrees out there? That's not cold.
This morning was 5.5 degrees. I think it's about 9 at the moment. So
come on, guys, that's not cold. You want to come up here and have some proper winters. We're
not used to
or
the
summers,
cold.
Richard, or summers.
Or summers, yeah. I mean, it's July and it's absolutely it's like a bath outside. It's just so wet. Good to see you both, though. Welcome.
Thank you, Richard.
Guys, if you're shooting off, please feel free to do so. I'm more than happy to take some further questions if people have got it now. But if you're shooting off, great to see you. I hope there's been some value there. Hit me, gang. Any further questions? Okay, cool. Go for it, Gail.
A quick question, Richard. Sorry, how do you find the entrepreneurs that you're looking for? What is the search that you use for that? Do you use groups for that, or do you go directly?
But for me now,
yeah.
Well, what we're doing is we're just exhausting lists. So we'll go after one campaign will be going after coaches, another one will be going after consultants, another one will be going after IT support or HR consultants. So we work with business services, and that's the focal point for us. Now we started to try and list them all out, as you could see, but actually just start to get too long. So we just then shortened it to entrepreneurs because just because our client base has and our outreach has got so big with it. That's the happy medium that we've got to. I didn't start there. I started with coaches because that's where we made the kind of penetration into the market, built a decent volume of people, built a big business, and then started to work out, still incorporating that, but working out from there. So I would try and go in through the niche first and then work your way out from there. Does that help? Or I can see you're internally dealing with that, girl.
Yeah.
What's the trauma?
The trauma is that I don't know whether I should say entrepreneurs or whether I should be saying sales leaders. You see, I'm only dealing with small and medium businesses. I don't want to deal with the big corporates.
Okay.
Been there, done that. That's in my past. I now only want to work with small and medium businesses. So I don't know whether.
What are you doing? Just remind me what you're doing for them.
I've created a new program now called Sales Velocitizers. So I work with them on understanding what their sales velocity is and tweaking everything from strategy all the way through to processes and enablement.
So sales lead. So would they have needed to have a sales team?
They would probably be best if they've got, it doesn't have to be a big sales team. It can be a smallish 2-3 people sales team. But preferably it would, Yeah.
So sales leaders then.
Or
you can say I help entrepreneurs train or help entrepreneurs optimize their sales teams.
Mhm.
You know, I would definitely have sales in there because that's the thing. That's how you help. And then who could be, you know, I help small service businesses, you know.
So what I've got at the moment is I help is SMB. Where did it go to? Sorry. I help SMB leaders and entrepreneurs improve sales productivity, performance, and growth through holistic sales enablement. That's what I've got at the moment.
So just start that again. Sorry, cut out for me.
Sorry. I help SMB leaders and entrepreneurs improve
Yeah.
sales productivity, performance, and growth
Yeah.
through holistic sales enablement.
The SMB leaders and entrepreneurs, just say, you know, I help sales leaders or I help small businesses. It's too many things in there. Just hit it with one. Pick one. It's not, I mean, to be honest with you, it's not going to make a massive difference in that. But actually, the length of it, the reason why this is important, gang, is look, you got to get it shorter because on the right hand side of any kind of search, let me just take or any kind of let me just go to a home, right? So when you've got this right hand side and oh no, let's go to my profile because that will show me. It will suggest, you have suggestions and it shortens. Here you go. So on the right hand side, you can see how it's shortened it. So you have the first part of this headline. You don't have the whole shebang, right? So that's why I make sure that it's nice and short in here to helping entrepreneurs sprint to million because that will actually come up as being the first thing that you can see, right? And so the rest of it is ... So you want to have the most important thing, who and how you help there, so it pins up, and then you can go add the credibility because once you start to get into my network and actually the whole thing will show when people are inviting you for things, right? And even there, you're still not quite getting all of it, right? So it will constantly shorten and shorten based upon the size of people's screens and the, you know, if they're using on a mobile device. So it's just super important to get the most important piece at the front, and then you can go from there.
Thank you.
No worries, no worries. Cool. Any further questions, gang? If you've said stuff in the chat, yes, go for it, David.
Hi, Richard. Good for you. I've just put mine into the chat. I've just worked on it.
Cool.
Do you want to have a quick look at it and tell me if you think that's good or bad, or
let's
give
do this.
Some advice on it? Thanks.
Let's do this. I'll just copy and paste it into a doc so we can all see it. That didn't work. Let me try and do that again. Copy. Yeah, okay, great. I hope you're doing well. Let me get straight to the point. We're excited to invite visionary CEOs, founders, CFOs, business owners like yourself to our upcoming Miracles of Capital event taking place. Right, cool. So hi. The thing is, when it says like yourself, I feel like you're listing out a number of things in here that I might not be like myself. Like if you are going out and you're sending these manually to people, so if you're going out to it and you're going and you're looking at just the CEOs, just kind of like that. So like visionary CEOs, and don't say like yourself, because some people are like, well, how do you know? You know? So excited by visionary said to our upcoming Miracles Capital event taking place there. So it's designed for leaders who are ready to transfer organization efficiency insights there. So we give top minds and line great there. We participation could be incredibly valuable both for you and the attendees. So what is the purpose of this call? So you're inviting me to an event. Great, fine. why do I need a call with you to go to the event?
Perhaps to find out more about what the event's about.
But could you not send me a link on that?
Yeah, I could put a link in there.
So what is the benefit of asking me, what do you want from the call? Like, what are you trying to do? Do you just want to sell me a ticket?
Well, yeah, you see, what I found out is that these things don't really sell on, because it's a high ticket item. They normally want to find out more about what it's all about and whether it will benefit them and so on. So the aim is really to tell them about it, but then to actually get a meeting with them.
Okay, so that's the whole way. So we believe your participation can be incredibly valuable for you and the other attendees. But I could say, but we don't accept just anyone. And a call to see if it's
All right. I love that.
something along those lines.
Yeah.
And they're looking forward to your positive response. I just don't like the sounds of that because you're trying to ask them for a positive response.
Okay.
So, and also I want to try and make this shorter because otherwise what happens is you get a big block of blue text. So I would also get rid of this. We're reaching out to visionary CEOs with a to our upcoming campus event taking place there. It's time for leaders who are very transparent. So strategic insights and innovative solutions is just marketing bollocks. Like you just want to just try and make it a little bit more tangible. Yeah, every consultancy talks about strategic insights and innovative solutions. The word solutions are kind of a classic. Someone hasn't worked hard enough on the copy. I know because I know you, David, I can be a little bit there. So,
please.
so I think here I'm going to send this back to you. Looking to transfer through actually what are these insights and what type of solutions you're talking about. Give me some more meat on the bone here.
All right, I'll do that.
This event will bring together top minds to learn, to share, learn, and grow, focusing on future-proofing and scaling businesses ethically and sustainably. I think that you could merge this into one really punchy sentence that really tells me exactly what we're doing.
All right.
I
can put it very simply. I could basically say something to the effect of MSC is about learning about the capital mechanism where we teach you how to sell shares in your business in order to create abundance, something like that.
Okay, but don't teach me because we're coming together with visionary CEOs. We're going to discuss, we're going to round table the concept of sharing shares in our business to be able to do X, Y, and Z.
Okay, all right,
cool.
I like that. Yeah, I like
and then
that.
This bit here, we believe the participation could be incredibly valuable, both you and the other attendees. Just leave it as incredibly valuable.
All right.
But we don't accept just anyone, but to make it a high T event, we cannot just accept anyone. There you go. Do you see what I mean? So we're doing a bit of scarcity there. And we'll have to, of course, see the right fit for you.
Thanks, Richard. You're a star.
Do you 15 wins? There you go.
Fan-
Right.
Fantastic.
So along those lines here, I'll chuck it back in the chat and then I'll
Oh,
finish
thank you.
for today.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it.
So I just hope that helps. So what we're doing there, gang, is we're
Yeah.
making it shorter, more punchy. We're making it more specific. You're going to tighten this middle bit into one sentence as well. And then
Yeah.
we're being very much obvious with our ask, and we're using a bit of scarcity and not urgency yet, because we might do that in the nudge message, but we're using scarcity in terms of this is not everybody, right? Cool. Good. All right.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
I hope that helps, gang, and gives you a bit of an insight to what we're trying to do today. And I'm glad that the appreciation for my lamp is back. Thank you, David, for that. Oh, David's going, Richard equals better than AI writing. I like that. Yeah, well, hopefully. Good to see you, buddy. Right, gang. I will speak to you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And if you're a $1 million sprinter, I will see you at 10 o'clock for our dropping clinic. Good to see you, gang. And I will see you all tomorrow. Cheers, gang. Bye.
Thank you.